Hey, Hudson.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. Well, we made it to 2 p.m. UTC,
Yep. What time is it where you are?
10 p.m.
Oh, nice.
Looks like we may be the only ones that made it to 2 p.m.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I know Charles is going to be a little late. We won't have too much to talk about today, probably. I mean, I guess we do have an agenda, but a lot of it was finishing up items from last time.
I think so. I think so. Hey, Will.
Hey everybody.
Hey, William. Hey, Pooja.
Hello, everyone.
Hey Hudson.
Does anyone have the agenda link handy?
Yep, send it through now. Hey, Lane. Hey, Tim.
Hello. Hey.
I had an 8 a.m. call. I hate those.
Oh, mate. Bit early.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's not early for like people who have real jobs, but I didn't sign up for 8 a.m. meetings.
well, well, you're gonna give taking the notes a go today.
If there's nobody else, I mean, I guess that means there's nobody
Yeah.
else. No.
Thanks so much, Will.
No,
I'm not.
On the bright side, there's not going to be a ton on the agenda today. So,
okay, fine. I mean, my
It
main
should
concern
be.
is it's my first time doing it. I hope I just cover it in a good way.
hmm
You'll be good.
we can wait another minute or two for Charles, maybe, and then we'll start.
Yeah. Charles sent me through a message with a couple of updates, saying he's going to be late.
Oh, okay. Well, we can go without him. Then, what do y'all think? Do you want to start?
Sounds good.
All right, I can run it today.
Cheers, Hudson.
Um, all right. Oh, great. First agenda item: update on the ProgPow audit. Uh, there are some new promising leads for money. Um, and me and Charles um, the other day were chatting back and forth, and he mentioned that we should update the community on this, and I agree with him. I'm trying to find the right timing for that. It's going to be before the end of the week, I think, because I don't want to put out something and then we suddenly have new information. So I'm trying to find just the sweet spot of time where updates have happened that are concrete and can be announced and are something that the community can get excited about versus saying same old, same old.
Yep, agreed.
Hard fork coordination update.
Just a quick one on that
Oh,
is
sure.
uh, Charles just obviously put out a post in the internal messenger
Cool.
saying that it looks like the grants, including the additional funds we'd get from the matching would come to 57,000. Is that right?
I
Because
don't.
looking at the number of 15, I don't know how that translates to 57.
See, I thought the EF only gave 50,000 to all of Gitcoin for their matching.
Yeah.
So when it's set up to 50,000, I think it's like people's things are competing for that money.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what I would have thought.
So Lane, do you know about CLR matching enough to like see if that's right or not?
Well, I think I understand the math, but I don't know offhand the number. That 60K sounds about right. It's on that order of magnitude. So yeah, I don't think that there's any way that any particular project is going to get that much. That's probably the maximum amount of matching that's offered. Like,
I see.
But they have, I mean, there's a blog post on Gitcoin about this, so it should be pretty easy to check.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay.
And we'll just ask Charles when he comes to the call.
Yeah, sure.
Anybody else have any ProgPow questions?
Yeah, one quick one is I think there was some confusion by people around like the fact that the audit was only 50K. The grant was only 50K, but the audit would cost more than that. So I think if we're issuing a clarification, it'd be good to just like explain, that breakdown and like the fact that we're looking for funds from other parties to pay for whatever the difference is, and to give people like a feeling of like, the like relative to the grant, how much more are we seeking? Is the grant only 25%? Is it 75% of the total funds and so on?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Well, I'll do as much as I can to communicate without giving the number of the total funds, even though I think someone's been running around with the number. No one from the cat herders, but we don't like giving the total number because that would compromise the ability for lease authority to price out stuff in the future for future clients. So what we can do, though, is reiterate that yes, this isn't the full amount of the funding and we're still seeking outside funding. Let's see. Any other questions? Okay. Hard fork coordination update. I forgot whoever usually talks about that.
Yeah, that's Joseph. He's in charge of the hard fork coordinations. I know he's not been coming to the meetings recently. Charles,
Yeah, I think he's been in Turkey, but he'll be back soon.
Yeah.
I think Charles initiated talk about the next call for the hard fork coordination in the Gitter channel over there, but what I can get from there is like people would want to wait till the Berlin meetup.
Yeah. So from the Gitter channel, for the hard fork coordination Gitter channel, it's suggesting that the next meeting perhaps be at the Berlin meetup when everyone goes there live.
Oh, that's a good idea. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
I won't be there myself, but a few obviously are going to be there.
Yeah, I won't be there either. Lane, are you going there to the Berlin 1X meetup?
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, so can I just catch that? Joseph said that the next time there should be a meeting about the hard fork coordination should be by Berlin?
No, it's not said
No.
by Joseph. Charles proposed, and Tim, I guess you were having some opinion there.
I just said it should probably be after, if it's during the Berlin meetup, that's fine as well, but just that probably not before then, given that there's probably going to be some changes decided like during those meetings. And it might just like, if we do like 3 months hard forks and we change the whole Istanbul schedule, then, that will have a lot of consequences on the coordination. So, and it doesn't seem like before then there's going to be a lot of questions that get answered. So that was just kind of my point there.
Yeah, might not be prudent, basically because of the decision of do we have a hard fork going forward that's every 9 months, or do we go for the quarterly hard fork? That changes the way we manage it.
Yeah. You're asking like basically if we're going to be changing the cadence more or less?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a
What is
likelihood.
the time frame going to be? Yeah. So,
It would just be
from
what was that?
I was just saying, yeah, from the core devs point of view, from the last meeting, it sounded exactly like a shorter time frame might be more prudent. However, we may do so only after Istanbul.
Yes. It'll depend on how quickly we can get things together. It might be after Istanbul. It might not.
Yep.
So yeah, still up in the air. That's a good reason to have this during or after the Berlin meeting.
Yep.
But to have at least one cat herder involved in those discussions so that they can come back and say, here's what people have been talking about and get the feel for what people want, what the core devs and others want.
Yep. Thank you, Lane.
Okay, Moloch and Aragon DAO review.
Neither Joseph or Hugo are here to do that.
Okay, we can skip that then. Updates on the action items for the Constantinople post-mortem.
Got a message here from Charles just saying he started working on that this week.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So Charles has been working on that this week. The Ethereum development portal and design, development portal design and structure, that is also a Charles thing. Did he leave a note about that?
He did. He said, we'll be speaking with Anthony from EthHub and reaching out to Jenny Pitts for feedback on the current content structure and design.
Okay, great. The next item is ETH2 coordination help, and it links to a comment from from this agenda, but it doesn't go anywhere. Did someone delete the comment?
Might be the wrong link. It would have been the previous agenda.
I think I participated in the last ETH2 meeting, and it sounded like they may not be looking for our immediate help. Maybe after a couple of months, they would be reaching out to us for any testnet help they need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So was this the call that Makara was on, or was there a call afterwards?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There was this is the Ethereum 2 call following our call last week. And Makara brought up the subject of the cat herders helping with a multi-client testnet. And it was felt that there are a few stages that need to happen before we get to a multi-client testnet. One of them being that the clients themselves need to actually run a testnet that's stable enough before they go in their own client's testnet rather than having a multi one before. So they said we got to jump through a couple of hoops before we get to multi-client, so we'll just hold off on that for the time being. But that said, I think there is still some value that the Ethereum cat herders could potentially assist with, specifically around which versions the clients are working on and how far ahead various clients are, because that's certainly something that's not being well tracked.
Let's see. Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Any other comments on that one? All right. Item 7 is any other business. I've just been focusing on Prague POW and my cabin trip this weekend, which was fun. So I don't have anything else.
Okay. Hugo will be tackling the website in his spare time, is what I've got from Charles. He also mentions that Greg from ChainSafe, this was going back, to the ETH2 coordination help. Greg from ChainSafe, who works with Makara, says he would love to coordinate with us for the cat herders for ETH 2.0.
Cool. That's awesome. Something else that I wanted to bring up, I won't be on the core dev call a week from this Friday. Is that during EdCon, by the way?
It is.
Like, is it smack in the middle or like right before?
It's so it's smack in the middle.
That's interesting. I wonder if we should even do the call. A lot of people are going to be there.
Yeah, that's hard to say. I mean, generally with these events, we push it back a week, and especially because this one's in Australia, so it's going to be like middle of the night for everyone. I guess the question is like, how many of the regular participants are going to be at EdCon? I think it might actually not be that high because it's so far. That's kind of the question in my mind.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Would it maybe make sense to have it on an Australian time zone? And I guess I'm saying this, like half of our team is in Australia and they don't attend the core devs call because of that. So given that there's going to be more of like people there, then maybe changing the time, usually like end of the day EST Americas is like a good time for Australia. So it might allow different people also from Asia to jump in who otherwise wouldn't.
That's not a bad idea. It might be too late to do it because usually I would suggest stuff like this at the end of the previous call. So springing it on people now might be a little soon, but I kind of want Lane's opinion since he's been in the middle of reschedulings before.
Yeah, boy, it's so hard to say. You know, on the one hand, like I believe in being equal opportunity, and I would actually go even a step further and say we should just rotate the time by like 4 hours every call. You know, so like everyone gets, you know, like screwed at some time, and everyone's like gets a good time at other times. But I really think the price we pay there is greater because like just having a regular fixed time on the calendar means everyone just knows it's going to happen at that time. I think if we start playing with the time, people are going to start missing the call. So I'm inclined to just leave it, as frustrating as that is for like people in Eastern time zones.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you on
Like,
that.
Hudson, even like, you know, this week, you know, the Europe time zone shifted again, and so it shifted for Americans and stuff. Every time that happens, we have people that miss calls. Like you and I are guilty of this as well sometimes. I just feel like moving things is going to create more chaos than value.
Yep. I agree. Okay. In that case, let me see. Let's go ahead and just do the normal time, and then Tim, you volunteered to actually run the meeting, right?
Sure. I mean, I'll be attending. Assuming the time doesn't change, I'm happy to attend and to just coordinate the call.
Yeah, time is not changing, and I'll get with you before the call and kind of prep you on just like how to manage it. It's not too bad. You just kind of let people talk things out, and if no one's talking, you move on to the next item.
The only hard part is the streaming part. That part can actually be like full disclosure. The first 3 times I did it, it was like terrifying because you're juggling all these like sound settings and stuff. So Hudson, I'm wondering maybe the right thing to do here would be to ask like Live Peer or someone to come on and like handle the streaming part, so Tim doesn't have to worry about that.
That could work, but I feel like we don't even need it streamed. I was just going to upload it to YouTube after it's done.
I have a little bit of a sense, I might be wrong, that like people are going to freak out because they're all streamed, right? If like suddenly one of them is not streamed. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not such a big deal. Maybe we should try it once and see if anyone cares, if anyone notices.
Yeah, let's try it once. This will be a good test run. And I'll try to let people know ahead of time. I'll make a note of that. So I'm going to say let people know ahead of time. It won't be streamed.
Or I mean, I can try this. Like we can like do a sort of dry run or whatever. I can try to just get it to stream. I don't know. I'm happy to try and stream it, and maybe just try to set it up in advance to see if everything works.
Okay, cool. We'll talk more about that later. I'll think about that a little bit more because it might not. I mean, and the other reason I wouldn't want you to go through the trouble of streaming it is if there's not going to be as many people on the call and it's going to be a real quick call to run through anyway. It might not even be worth it. So, yeah, I will talk to you more about that off the call.
Sounds good.
Great. So we're just running through. Oh, hey, Charles. We just ran through and Wow, my mind is just blanking today. Brett read your updates as we went through the action items, and we're on the final action item now. So, did you have anything you wanted to say specifically about the post-mortem or the Ethereum development portal?
Yeah, sure. So for the post-mortem, I started 2 of them. I don't believe which ones I put in the progress board on the progress board, but I'll be following up with people this week and putting some stuff together. As for the developer portal, I was speaking with Anthony from ETHUB as he was quite interested in proposing that to be funded by Moloch or some sort of thing. I think a lot of people are interested in general. And we're going to speak about that together and show him what I have and other ideas in place. I think Lane's looked at it briefly, and I've asked Jamie Pitts to look at it as well. So the overall conflict there, though, is if it's going to be a part of the actual Ethereum.org website in the redesign there. I think we covered that last time. So it wouldn't obviously be ideal if we were repeating content and doing all of that. So finding some time to chat about that would be helpful.
Just a quick thought. Don't worry about the Ethereum.org stuff. Like,
okay,
I have no idea what's going on there. No one seems to want to offer any information on that. I really think that, like, in any way, shape, or form, like, depending on that's probably a mistake. And it's like the reason that Ethereum.org hasn't been updated in 3 years. So, like, I think we should just press forward and, you know, kind of cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
Agreed.
Cool. Anybody, any other comments or any other updates, Charles?
I don't think so. If Brett looked through those updates, I think I covered it all. I'm not sure what happened with I can look at the recording after, but what with the E2O coordination stuff?
Oh, Brett knew about that.
Just with regards to the F2 coordination, they basically said that at this stage, a multi-client testnet is not really required. First, get the individual test nets for the, and then once that's all set up, then we can perhaps start looking at multi-client, but it's still a little ways off they feel. And they want testing on on their individual clients, obviously, before they can say, yes, it's running and it's all sweet. But I was saying that there might still be some value that we could add to Ethereum 2.0 in the sense that at the moment, nobody really has a single source that they could look at and say, these are what all the clients are running on, and basically have the tick box to say, we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here. So we may be able to set something up like that that could help them.
Cool.
Oh, I was muted. Okay, so if that's all there, that's all of the agenda items. We'll go through action items now and see what we have to go on and what we need to add. So 6.4, Joseph to post updated communications checklist to the ECH internal Gitter channel. He's not here.
Still needs to be done, yep.
6.7, yeah, Hugo and Joseph to work together to write up a general overview of how Moloch DAO might benefit the Ethereum community. To do. Hudson to provide feedback on hard fork coordinators. To do. Cat herders to look at handbook proposed by Luke Schoen and discuss over the next couple of weeks. I actually have never looked at that, and I thought I had, but I had never clicked on it. Oh, this is neat.
He's put a lot of time and effort into it. It's probably worth just having a look through it and see what we want to include. It's probably a little bit more detailed and specific to a specific project rather than a generalization of the cat herders. But it's certainly got some good stuff there.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, and he had a PR for it, which who's look first on GitHub? John Stevens and myself left like some review already on his PR. So it might be worth, I mean, if you're going to submit comments, it just might be worth having a look at the PR and make sure you're not like saying the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And then action item 8.1, need to give warning to the community that the Power Carbon vote is shutting down. We've done that. So that can
Okay.
be crossed out. Pooja to present EIP tracker idea to core devs on Friday. I think that happened, didn't it?
It did.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 8.3, review Pooja's ECH task list and merge it.
No, it's March now.
Okay, great. Then that's done. Lane, did you add Charles to the multi-sig? That's 8.4.
Yeah, he did.
Yep, that's done. On the multi-sig topic, I just noticed that it now has a lot of funds in it because of the ProgPow audit, which makes me a little uncomfortable. We should maybe take it offline, or not offline, but maybe at the end of the call discuss it or something.
Cool. Oh, do you mean Gitcoin has deposited the funds in there already?
There's no depositing. The funds just flow through whenever they're made. So there's now like something like 15,000 US dollars in there. And last I checked, it was like 500. So I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, that happened because Atlantic Crypto contributed a lot, and so did someone else.
Peter.
Yeah, Alexi and okay, yeah, actually a lot of people contributed more than I thought.
Yeah, quite a bit has flowed through in the past few days. So again, maybe, I mean, we can go into this now if you want. I do think it's worth discussing, but we can also just finish the action items and then come back to it. Yeah,
let's finish the action items. That's a good idea. So 8.5, Makira to bring the idea to assist coordinating task to the Ethereum 2.0 call, and we'll provide feedback next meeting. Yeah, that already happened. Because Makira brought that up, and then they decided to not have us come on fully for the moment. Action item 8.6, Pooja to engage with Charles and Hugo regarding the website.
Oh, it was just the things that I asked to update it on the website. Like we can update the new hard fork, we can remove the old one, and also add the YouTube channel and the Gitter and whatever is missing from there, just to update the ECH website.
Okay, great. Action item 8.7, Brett to set up Gitter channel for those interested in managing the notes and summaries of the Ethereum core devs.
That's been done.
Okay, 8.7 is done. 8.6 is done too, as Pooja just said. And do we have any new action items to add?
Just one more thing.
Sorry, Karen.
Yeah. Just one more thing I just wanted to ask about that process part, the hard fork coordination process part. I'm sorry, I'm a little late on that. But would it be good enough to have a process set up, irrespective of the time period they are suggesting? Like if the code has decided it has to be 3 months hard fork, or if they decide to 6 to 9 months, whatever it is, but we can probably come up with the process part, like as I discussed in the last call. Like we should go ahead and submit EAP for consideration, pick up somewhere there, put it into the tracker and everything up. So do you think it would be a good idea to kind of draft something over there and submit it as a pull request? Explaining what
I think that I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, then I'll be working on drafting it and submit it as pull request.
Okay, sounds good. My action item is to work with Charles on updating the community about ProgPow before the next core dev meeting. That'll be our deadline, but it'll likely be this week. I think that's it. Does anyone else have any other action items or agenda topics?
I've got to go in 60 seconds. I just realized I have another call, but I'll just, if it's okay, just very, very briefly share my kind of concerns about the multi-sig. Can we just do that super quickly right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's just the following, right? Like I've been saying all along, let's not sort of get hung up on this. We have more important things to do than worry about managing funding because we have so little of it, right? And so as long as the multi-sig contains, I mean, it's arbitrary, but like, let's say less than $1,000 US, then like I'm perfectly happy for there to be like a one of N scheme where like any one person, you know, like you or I or Charles can make transactions. I'm actually very uncomfortable with a situation where we have like 15,000 or as much as 15,000, sorry, as much as $50,000 US in a multi-sig with a one of N. Not because I don't trust you or Charles or I, but because who knows what could happen, right? Keys can get stolen or, you know, bribery, et cetera, is always a possibility. And I just try to be like ultra above board on this stuff. So we're not going to solve it right at this moment, but like one easy thing we could do here is just bump it up to a 2 of 3, right? So any transaction requires 2 of us. I also think another thing we might consider doing is moving the ProgPow funds into a separate multi-sig, which just makes our accounting simpler because right now they're all like intermingled, you know what I mean, with our regular ongoing funding.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sure.
Let's do both of those things. And
All
me
right.
and you can
Cool.
get the chat, and we'll do that. The first
All right.
thing is to bump it up to 2 of N, I think. And
Yeah,
then
I can do that. Like I think any of us can do that immediately as a short-term fix. Like that would make me sleep easier. And maybe just add it as an action item.
All right, sounds great. I won't be able to do it today, but if anyone else wants to do it, just let us know when it's done, or I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I can probably do it today.
Charles, just a quick one on the actual CLR for the hard fork. You said it was 57.
Yeah, so
how does
that
that
is
work?
not necessarily the matching amount. It's the optimal amount that we should reach to get the optimal matching amount, I think. I don't know. I've asked Vivek from Gitcoin to confirm, but yeah, it's just unclear right now.
Okay.
In their current example, the CLR contribution formula provides the optimal CLR contribution amount, but I'm not sure if that indicates the actual matching or if it's the amount you need to achieve to receive that matching.
Okay.
I'll know shortly.
Cool. At least it clears up the confusion anyway that I had.
Yeah, that's good. Let us know when Vivek says something back to you about it. As far as I knew, the foundation only gave $50,000 to match multiple projects.
Exactly.
So the chances that we will be getting much of anything is slim. But yeah.
So I think it is we have to achieve that amount to get matching.
I see. Okay. Well, let's just hope we get any more funding at all. Okay. And Charles, I gave it an update at the very beginning, but I'll talk to you in private about some more potential funding sources I found out about.
Oh, great.
And we'll work from there. All right,
Sounds
great. I think that's it. Does anyone else have anything else?
What do I do with the notes?
That's a good question. I think they go in our PM repository, right?
I can check that. If that's where they are, I'll put them there.
Yep, they're in a folder called All Ethereum Cat Herder Meetings.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.
Everyone.
Cheers, man. Bye.
Well.
Bye, thanks.